Good evening to my dear friends. It is an immense pleasure for me to welcome our guest speaker, Dr.M.G.Bhaskar, who has kind enough to accept our invitation to be a speaker for the day on a very crucial, important topic, which is gaining more importance nowadays. Artificial intelligence applications in HR practices. So in SRM University, they are into more innovation and very quality education is being imparted. This subject very important for all our professionals in future, which will be very useful for our HR professionals who are all our members of S2S. Due to the current pandemic situation, we have switched over to this webinar practices. Maybe February also we may have to continue. So we, on behalf of our S2S HR Forum family, I welcome each one of our participants and also guests. I also thank our IT support from KTV Health Food, Mr. Bala and Mr. Manikandan, who have made these Microsoft arrangements to take this session online. I also welcome a lot of students are going to join. Few of them are already joined. My best friend, student of D.G. Vaishnava, second year, Mr. Monash Chandra Babu, who is here with us to welcome our guest speaker for the evening. Over to Mr. Monash. Monash, please introduce our guest speaker.
Good evening to all our S2S members.
So what's the name?
Monash, sir.
Monash Chandra Babu.
Monash Chandra Babu.
Bhuvanava?
Monash.
Mona.
Monash. Yes, sir.
NGP sir, recording available. We will share with you.
Okay.
Monash, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Good evening to all our S2S members. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming our guest, Dr. M.G. Bhaskar, Professor and Head Corporate Relation, College of Management, SRM Institutes of Science and Technology. He is a publisher of Impact Journal Meet for practicing management professionals, management consultant, faculty, and scholar for M.B.A. student for past 6 years. And also a Rotary RI District 3232 chairman as a strategic planner and a past president of Rotary Club. And he is the director of D.L.L evaluation as strategic advisor for various multinational and Indian corporate, and also the director of resource training and development organization. We welcome you, sir, and start your presentation, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monash.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Monash, for the good introduction.
Thank you, sir.
I am happy to be here. I would like to thank Mr. Ravi Kumar, who is a very good friend of mine for the past more than a decade, I would say. And I am happy to be here and to see all nice bright faces. And on a Sunday evening, allocating time for this particular program, I thank each one of you for having come here to join this particular program. And S2S, I always have a liking for the S2S forum because it has got very lively people. And SRM,
sorry for interrupting. I'm not able to hear you properly, sir.
Is it all right now?
Some better, sir.
Now it's okay.
It is perfect, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you. SRM and S2S forum, we have a very good bonding and relationship, and many of our management development programs, Mr. Ravi Kumar used to support us with members support also, and we offer very good programs on behalf of SRM. Now, Today, my topic of discussion, which Mr. Ravi Kumar has given me, is the artificial intelligence for HR in today's scenario. How the artificial intelligence is really going to make a change in the coming years, particularly in the HR domain. People who have got very large experience, decades of experience in HR, also are expecting this sea change in HR to happen with the artificial intelligence, which is happening around the globe. Now, as you are all aware, India always we forge ahead in technology and in adapting ourselves to various technologies, latest technology. That is why, even though we started late with 2G in our mobile connectivity, soon we galloped from 3G to 4G, which took years for the countries like USA to join to such advanced technology to 4G, whereas now we are poised even for the 5G technology, and that is our uniqueness of Indian uniqueness, that we always adapt ourselves to the changing scenario and to the changing world. And HR is one of the important domains of any organization. And we start this program with some slides. I would like to show some slides so that you can very well acknowledge the changes which are happening and how you can also involve yourself in joining this change through your organization as a HR professional and a practicing HR persona. So I would like to share now the slides, please. Are you able to see the slide? Is the slide is visible?
No, sir.
No.
Presentation தெரியாது. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Slides are
Now okay.
Now okay.
Now okay, Professor.
But you can go for
now-
slide show if you require. Slide show.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Visible,
Yes, sir.
visible. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry for the glitch. You know that we are all now in the fourth industrial revolution, and you being in the foray, looking for the human capital development as HR professionals, we are peeking through an HRM lens. When we peek through the HRM lens, what all is happening, we can see one by one. in the HR domain. Is it clear now?
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The whole industrial revolution applied to talent acquisition, management, and engagement. You know, HR now, what is today's HR? Previously, about a decade before, it was called as personnel management. Slowly, it has evolved over a period in the last 10 years, and now we are in the HR, human resources management. We have come to that stage. Now, what next in HR is what we are going to see, and how we can unify, understand, automate the talent which we are going to have at our respective organizations with the help of artificial intelligence technology. You know that we all have the basic HR management fundamentals. I'll just quickly run through. I mean, this is just to refresh our what we are all in the what sort of avenues which we are already involved. Recruitment and selection, training and development, performance management, HR strategy, reward management, and of course, the career management. Then we go for job analysis. From there, what staff do we need to do the job? Then, as per the company strategy, would we require? What staff is available within our organization? And what do we expect out of the executives? Performance appraisal, company data banks, training, employee management and development. Is there a match? If we could see that, what type of people do we need? That is what we are always into. As we progress, as the company grows, then we always look out for better talent acquisition. Previously, we called it as recruitment. Now we call it as talent acquisition. We always require talents, particularly from the wonderful human beings who are around us, who have got the capabilities and willing to perform. That is what we look out as a HR person for the development of the organization. Because if the organization grows, automatically we all grow. And how the organization can grow? Only through the resource of human capital whom we have now. Then we have projected turnover, quality and nature of your employees, then the financial resources available. Based on the financial resources available, we look out for the talents. Certain times we also deviate from the standard norms and acquire better talents and showcase to the top management why we have changed, why we have digressed to acquire a better talent to our organization based on the performance of that individual or a group of individuals. Then we go into the trend analysis, study of a firm's past employment needs over a period of years to predict future needs. We always look out for the future, and in the future and for the future needs, how we have to set the trends, and we have to keep on analyzing those trends, and that gets embedded in our day-to-day operations. I would say operations need not be only from the production side, it also from the HR side. We have to keep doing that operations. That is, we have to keep on doing the trend analysis and how we look into the changing scenario and the trends which are happening. Then we have The recruiting new staff from external sources will be influenced by several factors because as we grow, we need more staff, more talented staff, more staff with an eye for perfection and with an eye for performance. And how do we identify them? It is like identifying a pin from a haystack because so many people are available and who will be suitable for us, for our organization, at our financials is what we have to look into. And that is what we are into as a recruiter. Then we give them the training, then we give them the training objectives, then we give them the training delivery, and finally the evaluation. And how do we evaluate? By measuring the reactions, then the learnings which they have learned through the training, and how they have started behaving now, and of course how it transforms into results. This is what we always measure. We keep measuring from the HR domain. Then task analysis. Then of course finally is competency analysis. This is very, very important. We have to keep doing this competency analysis. All of this are a part of HR. This is what we are doing day in and day out. Then when we come into competency analysis, what all we do? We find out where the competency gaps are. When we analyze them, we find out the gaps. Then based on the gaps, we try to fulfill those gaps or bridge those gaps with, of course, the financials which have been given by the top management. We cannot go beyond that. But within that, how do we acquire and bridge that gap? Then, of course, there is a training matrix for the competency development. How do we develop the competency of our resourceful workforce? How do we further multiply our workforce into more resourceful workforce? These are all the things which we keep doing on a day-to-day manner, or cumulatively as a HR department. What we do, we all do this. We continuously do this as a team. As a team, we look into these aspects and then we go for the fineness of it, or we fine-tune this. Then, of course, we go for enhancing the training effectiveness to fill up the gaps with the present workforce. And for some reason, if we require a new talent, then we fill it up with a new acquisition of the talent. Then this is the performance management cycle which we keep doing every quarter. Hopefully in all your organizations also, whichever be the organization, as a HR head or as a HR department, we all keep doing all these things as a management cycle. It is a cycle because it doesn't come to a stop. It keeps moving. It keeps rotating, and we keep monitoring. And we keep taking the corrective actions also, wherever there is a lack. Because humans always we have some tendency in between. With some people, due to some personal problem or with some other hitch, that there may be corrective actions to be taken, which we continuously monitor and we keep doing it. Then how do we appraise the performance of the people? Every quarter we appraise, every half yearly we appraise, and then every year we appraise. And based on our appraisals, we suggest to the management what should be done and how we can further improve upon. And we also mentor the workforce who are with us, how they have to improve their standards and their performance. Then the problems we face in the performance appraisal, you can very well see the slide. I think since you are all an experts in the HR domain, I don't need to explain this in detail because we all do this regularly. Then here, with these things in mind, how artificial intelligence is now going to change or transform the HR department or the HR domain is what we are going to see today. The impact of artificial intelligence, robotics, and machine learning technologies on human resource effectiveness through particular human resource management, that is HRM, programs and processes despite its importance. This is what we are presently going through. How the machine learning as well as the artificial intelligence technology, when we adapt or if we adapt, how this is going to change or bring a welcome change to our manual operations, which we were doing all these years. This presentation will make a contribution to this important field of inquiry. AI and HR, some key issues. Disconnect between views of HR professionals and managers. 55% HR professionals reports that AI will have an impact on their workforce in 5 years' time, and 10% are not expecting any serious impacts for more than 10 years. This is what is being seen through a survey. And limited discussion or research on implications of artificial intelligence for HR because people have not yet implemented or in the process of implementing. This is what is happening. So only over a period we will get to know the implications or the true implications we will get to know. Then lack of understanding of effects of artificial intelligence on the workforce and all HRM programs, processes and functions. Lack of understanding of effects because it is still in the primitive stage, particularly in India. Particularly the organizations which has not crossed the 100 crores, they are all still grappling with the technology, whether we have to go in for that or we should not. Or are we ready for the change? This is what we are grappling, including the HR professionals working in those organizations. Even certain organizations which is doing wonderfully well with more than 100 crores also have not really taken the full effects of introducing the artificial intelligence in their HR domain because due to the lack of knowledge or due to the lack of the rightful talent to implement that artificial intelligence in the HR domain. This is what is happening. So, when it comes to human resource planning, this particular aspect of AI, how it is going to affect or how it is going to improve the impact on staff. How it is going to improve the impact on staff. Whether it is going to improve, if yes, how it is going to improve the talent attraction and selection. You know that new attractors always, that is the key AI talent wants employee growth and skills development opportunities Work-life balance, we all know about it. Smart teams and smart colleagues. Interesting problems to solve, flexible employment conditions, individualized rewards and recognition programs. 30% company executives are not clear how these technologies will affect skill requirements. That is, the predicting the future is never easy. Always, always predicting the future is never easy. But with artificial intelligence, it is possible to a great extent how the future is going to be. Because if we understand the artificial intelligence in its proper sense and with the proper softwares, we can always predict to a very great extent compared to human prediction. Compared to human prediction. So, how we are going to have the new selection criteria? Lateral cognitive problem solving. This is going to be the key. Lateral cognitive problem solving. And how it is going to help? It is going to help to a very great extent about knowing the employees' problems. And once you start attempting to reduce the employees' problems, then automatically their resourcefulness will enhance, will double also certain times or many a times. Or how we facilitate our workforce to do better and to do better for the overall growth of the organization. It is not only the adding up of a new machinery, it is also we require new talented performers to operate the new machinery and to understand the new machinery and how to optimize the new machinery's function. That we require. And we are in the process of finding out such people who are all going to be with us. And for that, the AI is going to come very handy for us. The new attraction and selection techniques for artificial intelligence talent, the new attraction and selection techniques. The presently what we have, we all know how we do that. Okay? But when it comes to using of AI, how that is going to radically change, it is going to have a paradigm shift on the talent attraction and selection. It is going to be easy. It is going to be very easy. I won't say very easy. It is going to be easy initially and will become very easy over a period of time once we learn and fine-tune ourselves with the AI technology. The learning and development is what many organizations have. Learning and development, because we have to make our workforce to keep learning, to keep upskilling them, so that their resources further expand, further enhance, which will be very useful for the organization's growth. On-the-job coaching and counseling, blended learning approaches. These are all not mere words, but it has got a lot of meaning into it. And how we are going to do that is through proper culture of continuous learning. This is what we have to look into. We have to bring in the culture of continual learning. It is not, okay, I have done this, I know about it. Yes, we know about it, but there are still so many things which are yet to be explored. That is called the culture of continual learning. And how we develop the leadership for that, how we are going to build the team for that, then how we are going to look at the emotional competence of the workforce to get into the culture of continual learning. Then, of course, the most important aspect is creativity. the how they are going to adapt that to our environment. It comes only out of creativity. There is no school or there is no university which can teach. Only the creative people who are in the field, who have the subject knowledge and the technology knowledge could implement with their creativity the new entities so that the entire gamut of the workforce will grow accordingly, will be more fruitful, resulting in the overall growth of the organization. And that will definitely address many complex problem solving skills. Many, many problem solving skills could be addressed based on that. That is called, it is going to be a task for the performance management here, because if the workforce are going to be more performance oriented, we have to, as heads of the HR domain, how we have to upgrade ourselves, how we have to update ourselves to the changing scenario. Then only, only a good servant will be a good master. You know that proverb. So to make ourselves updating on a day-to-day basis, it has come to that level now. It is not once in a fortnight or once in a month or once in 6 months we can update. No, because so many changes are happening on a day-to-day basis across the globe. So we have to equip ourselves with those changes. So once we know, then we can always circulate that to our employees and make them become more resourceful. Then when it comes to rewards and benefits, again here, we have to keep thinking of creatively how we have to think of how to award the new rewards and benefits. It need not be only money. It need not be only money. It can be on various packages. The reward packages could be in various forms. And we have to think how we can package it nicely, those reward packs, so that our workforce will gain by it as an individual and for the development and upliftment of our organizations to the next level. And how all these things are possible? All these things are definitely possible with the artificial intelligence skills. Now we know that on-demand workforce have come. We have started looking into many of the organizations have taken this cue of on-demand workforce. Only when they require, they take those skill sets. Only when they require. This doesn't add up to their packages. That is the overall packages. I mean, there is no definite overheads here. We pay for their performance. We pay for their skill sets. We pay only on assignments. This has come across the globe. It is also entering, and some of the companies and factories in Nashik, in the automobile field, they have implemented this on-demand workforce. And slowly it is catching up at the other organizations also. Then elastic workforce. This is how we train them. You may have 1 million images that need to be taught today, or 1 lakh new catalog entries that need to be validated. But only have that need once per month. Once per month. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Are we going to employ people only to do that particular job continuously? We need not. That will be taken care by the talented workforce by using the artificial intelligence only for a few days. Only for a few days. So we make the same workforce to give them additional responsibilities only for a few days so that they scale up and that makes the organization to grow. Okay, it is not it is a continual requirement, but we also equip those employees to further expand themselves, to further enhance their knowledge base through training and through giving them the advantage of learning and development. The overhead and fixed costs associated with hiring and managing a temporary workforce can often be significant. And we have to look into how we can reduce this temporary workforce. Because now the temporary workforce, the idea of temporary workforce, now it is going to have a different shift to on-demand workforce and elastic workforce. The same workforce what we have, we are going to give them additional responsibilities. They need not do all the 30 days or all the 25 days in a month. They have to only put up only for 3 days or maximum of 4 to 5 days. The remaining, they can keep on doing the regular work. So this is called elastic workforce, and this will reduce the unnecessary overheads for the temporary workforce. And this is also possible only through artificial intelligence. Then the key issues here are employment relations, privacy, and employee self-worth. A simple example here I would like to give you. Just you cross-check with your workforce, barring a few, that is, you know that that universal phenomena of 80-20 principle. That 20% of the people in any organization, they are the key people. They involve themselves for the development of the organization. The remaining 80%, they simply follow. The remaining 80%, they don't apply their mind, but they only execute what is given to them as directions. They don't apply their brain, they simply do, like a machine, they do. But now we have come to a stage where we have started more and more to learn more about the machine. So now we have come to a stage now, we have to understand and make this 80% workforce also to make them shift to this 20% of the people who are brain behind for the development of the organization, so that the organization will grow in multi-folds. In multi-folds. That is possible, and that is with us, with the head HRs and with the HR community. And for this, we have to build the confidence, both with the public as well as with our own workforce. With our own workforce, we have to build the confidence. Now, if you cross-check without, you can employ some XYZ and ask them to stand at the entrance of your entry point of your organization, and ask them to randomly check with certain employees who come out. Are they, or do they feel the pride of working for that organization? Are they having the pride of working for that organization? And now a survey says only 63% of the work, or only 63, 36, 37% of the workforce only show their pride or have that pride with them that they are working for this organization. Remaining 67%, they work because they have to earn. They work because they have to make a living out of it. And they work and they expect the growth also, but without any involvement to grow. For growth of the organization, they want to grow, but they don't add up any value for the growth of the organization. They simply do what is expected out of them. What is expected out of them. So how we are going to make these people to start getting into the aspect of taking a pride of working for the organization. And that is a big challenge for all our HR heads as well as our HR fraternity. How we are going to do that, and that is going to be the key for the development of not only our organization, but the entire Indian workforce community per se. This can radically change if we could infuse this pride in every individual who are working now in an organization. They should take pride in saying, I work for this organization. Let us take an example. I mean, they have taken a survey in Google also. You know, we all think that Google is a big paymaster. You know, there is a recent survey which says that 39% of the workforce have left Google because, not because they are getting more money, but because they are not being recognized. They are not being recognized. So it's not only the money, it is something else. And how we are going to know that what is that something else, that is possible only when you employ or only when you have the knowledge of artificial intelligence. Through that, we get to know these things. That is, apart from the salary, what else they look into? Apart from the salary, what else give them the kick? Apart from the salary, how they could still be retained as a performer, as a continuous performer, not a sporadic performer, as a continuous performer. How we are going to make them is a big challenge for all of us. For all of us, the people who are engaged in the HR domain. Many HR professionals are not fully aware of the potential of AI, nor of the speed in which it is likely to impact the organizations. Because we are all bogged down with our day-to-day problems, with our day-to-day activities, with our day-to-day functioning. And particularly when it comes to pandemic situations like now, we are also being bogged down by the governmental norms. Changing, they keep changing every day, the norms. And as a HR head, we have to know what is happening and whether as per the norms, are we really gearing ourselves, or are we really protecting our employees, our workforce? Otherwise, what will happen? If we do not protect our workforce, then we are going to lose them, and the company is going to lose them, and the company's growth will be stunted. So it is our responsibility to know what is happening around, particularly the daily dictates of the government. Daily dictates. I think all of you will vouch for it, for me particularly during this pandemic period. Okay, what is yesterday's norm is not today. What was last week's norm is not happening this week. Okay, and there is a change, there is a shift. So we have to keep ourselves updating the governmental norms also. And based on that, we have to make our workforce also to follow. Otherwise, we will be taken to task. We will be taken to task. Then how do we succeed with AI in HR? How do we succeed? The beginner's guide to AI in HR. That is the human capital management. That is what we are into. First is learning and development, and how we are going to add the human capital management through recruitment. Then employee engagement, and of course the employee benefits. How we are going to integrate all these things through artificial intelligence. The important trends that drive the value of AI-based techniques, which are happening, and how we are going to bring the trend to our own organization, how we are going to drive our own people in following the techniques, in following the latest trends. It will definitely, initially, see, we all as human beings, human psyche, we say that we need change. We need the change, but we don't like changes. It's a big paradox, but that is what we are as human beings. As human beings, we all need change, but at the same time, we don't want changes. But how to make us to change is the key to the success, and that success has to be driven by us as HR professionals. How the trends enable sourcing professionals and job seekers. How are we going to source the professionals and the job seekers? You know, there is a big difference between professionals and job seekers. The big difference, you all know about it. And how are we going to distinguish them, and how are we going to make them come to us with the right talent pool of people? How AI is going to address these trends? We have seen so many things. AI is going to do this, AI is going to do this, AI is going to do this. But how really artificial intelligence is going to address these trends is what we are going to see now. It enables both sourcing professionals and job seekers. Sourcing professionals is totally different from sourcing job seekers. For the new fertile fields, we need professionals. Through referrals, we can get those professionals, and we have to find them. It is very difficult also to find such skill sets which are very much required in the changing scenario. Hard to find skills. Hard to find skill sets, people, professionals, because we have to source the efficiency. We have to source the efficient people, performers, and that is with us. The responsibility is on our shoulders. And of course, with job seekers, that is freshers as well as people who routinely change their jobs once in 5 years, once in 6 years, because for some additional incremental growth in their salary structure. And that is a different, altogether a different subject. But still we have to work on with them also. Because for various reasons, our present workforce also changed for the same reasons to other organizations. Similarly, the people who work in other organizations also do require such changes, and we look out for them for the day-to-day execution of our various jobs. Here comes the data reliability. Data reliability. I'll just ask you a simple question now. I mean, you don't need to answer immediately, but think about it. Think about it. As a HR person, we would have seen hundreds or certain times even thousands of applications with our CVs. And many of them we would have rejected for various reasons. Many of them they would have rejected for various reasons, even if we are ready. Okay. And are we really going through those rejected, our own rejection as well as people who are rejected, that CV pool, CV data for the future employment whenever we require for the professionals as well as job seekers? Are we really doing that exercise? We would have found it. We would have found all the CVs which have come to us. We would have also found the CVs which we think are very good, but not now. But not now, because of various reasons. But we keep them for the future. But when the need arrives, do we really remember those people and go back and check those files and then scout for them? Where are they now? Okay. Now, this is one scenario. And another scenario is, now, you know, in various the HR talents who are posting their CVs, okay, like monster, like that we have very many domains wherein people keep posting, okay, and there itself you can see in the portals itself there are professionals who are engaged in writing the CVs itself. Professionals, all you have to do is pay some money. And once the money is given to them, and you have to only fill the data of it or the template which they send to you, and then they craft a very, very nicely, they rewrite your own CV, which you yourself will find it very hard to believe. Such professional CV writing professionals are available for a fee. So how are we going to find the real the talents of the people? And how much time you can engage with everyone? How much time you can engage them to know about everyone? These are all the challenges. And for that, the LinkedIn has got fewer likes because it is on a public domain. And the people who are there already may be aware of you. And if you post something which is unbelievable, they themselves will get to know and they themselves will mock at you. That have you really acquired this talent? Or have you really passed this particular specialized examination? like that. So once they ask you, then you know if you lie, then you know that you cannot lie more or you cannot lie further because they are the people who are already whom you are aware of and they also know about you. So LinkedIn is one where fewer lies about work experience is available. But like that, how are you going to find out between the real talent and the artificially written talent? Artificially written talent by the professionals, by the CV writers, by the CV writers. How are you going to dissect and to find out? That is called data reliability. How are you going to do that? For that, of course, this AI comes to your rescue or our rescue. How we will be using AI in the near future. Many ways AI could be in HR today. Could be. Track employee engagement, support employee development, match employees to skills, policy tracking of the our organization as well as the government policies. Then skill verification, very important. Then job fit. Are they really happy? Are they really doing their best? Job fit. Then background checks. This is in India, particularly with the MSMEs, I would say, people are not willing to spend on the background checks. But through AI, it is quite easy to find out the background checks through Facebooks and through LinkedIn and through Twitter because many of them are also into this. So background checks, you need not pay much or you need not spend much in addressing this particular problem of finding out the real background of the people who are working with us. Then, of course, the talent discovery and employee referral network is again a very big, important avenue. Employee referral network. There are various networks which are available, and that how are you going to force? How are you going to plow the data and to find out who are all available for us, who will be available for us for our requirement. Here we come to know the first simple recruitment. For the recruitment process, you have chatbots. I think we all know about what is a chatbot now. If you are to a certain extent net savvy, I'm not saying fully, to a certain extent net savvy if you are, then automatically you know what is a chatbot. Using the chatbots itself, you can easily recruit or filter or select your needs, particularly the job seekers, You can easily select them with a few questions which you have to, based on your requirement, you have to feed in. What you are going to ask, nothing else. What you are going to ask, you have to feed into the system, and the system will in turn ask those people the same questions, and it also finds out the keywords in that, and it poses the next question accordingly. Okay, a simple artificial intelligence route which we can take for the recruitment. It could be even freshers. It could be even the regular job hoppers. Through chatbots, we can easily find out, easily acquire, easily look out for such people who can be useful for us, who can be engaged for our organization. And key things to remember is be willing to experiment in a way, fail fast and learn. Fail fast and learn. There could be some failures also, but we have to learn out of that failures, and then we have to quickly change ourselves and then learn accordingly. Through that we learn, and then we change. Be willing to experiment. That is very important for us to be at the helm of affairs. Then start building with low complexity use cases. Start building with low complexity use cases. Then provide a support structure for continuous improvement. Build advocates at the leadership level from across the business. Build advocates at the leadership level from across the business. This is very important. Then invest in training, invest in communication, learning, and adoption plans. Then forecast the potential benefits before development. The potential benefits before development. This is called prediction, but prediction with some scientific reasoning. Transform your employee experience with AI-powered HR chatbot, which are being employed. I mean, you can check with your own insurance portals what is a chatbot and how do they view the new people who come to know about insurance, how the chatbot operation itself make them, how they convert the prospects into their customer, and no human intervention, only through chatbots. They could able to convert the prospects into customers for such a difficult financial propositions also, like insurance, long-term propositions, like insurance. They make the people to become committed for the long-term hand-holding. No human intervention, no agents, no human agents, only through chatbots, only through AI-powered chatbots, they are able to convert the prospects into customers. Is chatbot a necessity for recruitment? Yes, in today's business world, it is, because it eases the task. It eases our task. Okay. It very easily we could able to ascertain that the rightful engagement of the people to be suitable for us, who are willing to work for us. Okay. And the expected responsibilities of a resource manager, human resource manager, is creating content for the job boards. That is with the keywords. We have to ask the right questions. And from the answers, what do we look into? We have to feed those things. Okay. Continually updating the recruitment strategies. Continually updating, because this is called FAQs, which we all know, frequently asked questions. And for that, what are the frequently being given as answers? Both we have to feed it. And if somebody gives a very different answer, then those keywords also we have to give. So based on that, we can easily find out the fresh talents as well as the regular job offers workforce, as our workforce. Then develop strategies to meet business goals. Strategies to meet business goals. Whom do we want? Such profile, such job profile may not be available presently. But by upskilling ourselves, by learning through our own upskilling, we can adapt a very different portfolio in our own organization, create portfolios to achieve the business goals of our organization. Then ascertain competitors' moves, what the competitor is doing, we could easily able to ascertain by looking into how they do, what technology they are imbibing. Are they really going in for technology improvement? We constantly have an eye on our competitors so that we know their moves also. Then setting realistic and challenging standards and benchmarks. Realizable. That doesn't mean easily achievable. Okay, but it should be realizable benchmarks. But it should not be very easily achievable. There is a big difference. It should be hard, but at the same time, it should be achievable. Prudently, we have to set our benchmarks, our goals. Then understanding and working towards employee engagement and satisfaction is the key. Satisfaction. As I said earlier, Google. We all think Google is a very big organization, very, very open-minded organization. But still, many of a sizable percentage have left them because they are not happy with that. They are not satisfied with the environment, with the climate, organizational climate, which they have within the organization. And for that, what we have to do? We have to do a regular follow-ups with our own people, our own workforce. What do they look for? In what period they look for? Are they any different? Whether we can offer them something different. If yes, what all we can offer them something different. All these things, it's all our domain now. And all these things are possible with chatbots. From their answers. Then what are the benefits and importance of chatbot? The survey shows that using the chatbot for recruitment, more than 50% of the candidates are ready to use the chatbots. More than 50% of the candidates. You know why? The reason being, people are slowly gaining acquainted with the technology change. In other domains, through other domains. See, even our smartphones have got this simple chatbots. It asks you, where is it? I mean, if we ask, what is the traffic now? Which way I have to take? Then the Google tells you. And how does it tell? Only through artificial intelligence. It employs. And it is available on your smartphone itself. Which route you have to take? Which route you have to take to reach the destination quickly? And which route you have to take to reach the destination itself? The map. All these things come under the chatbots itself. Like that, people are slowly getting themselves acquainted. So it is not going to be a new phenomenon if we engage the chatbot for our recruitment requirement. Because they also know, they also get familiarized with these chatbots operations. How to increase employee and candidate satisfaction? Possibly through this. And recruiters can save a lot of time with the help of chatbots. Using a chatbot in both the circumstances, that is, If the HR manager is very tired, if he is going to be interviewing from morning to evening, he will feel tired at the end of the day. And he may even not apply his mind during the during the during the end of the day. People think he is interviewing because human need is tiresome. Human need is tiresome, whereas the machine, it doesn't have that disadvantage. Okay, it doesn't have that disadvantage. Similarly, one more is, if you deal with the most annoying candidate, for example, you ask one question and the prospect gives totally a different answer, you will get annoyed by through his answers. And when you get annoyed, you may not be able to see through the candidate, see through the plus of the candidate, plus of the candidate. So you may lose your patience, and thereby you may lose the candidate also. You may lose the candidate also. So using the chatbot in both the circumstances, it reduces drastically these, not only these two, like this. I'm only giving you an example how the chatbot's operation helps for the recruiters and how much time it saves. How much time it saves. The types of artificial intelligence chatbots: contextual chatbots, keyword-based chatbots, menu-based chatbots. And this is not only three, there are very many more, but these are all for the initial introduction. As you grow, you can also make it more and more and more. You can open up new benefits of using AI in HR. Facilitates aptitude tests online. Google Forms are available. And the person themselves will get to know how much marks they have scored. You don't need to correct. It's available. All you have to do is give the answer before. And the guy will not know. Before he answers, he will not know. Only at the end of the completion, he will know how much marks he scored. So total transparency also. Total transparency. Tomorrow he cannot argue, I have done well, but I have not been recruited. I have not been given the position. No, it's not possible. Because here it's a foolproof method, almost a foolproof method. Facilitates aptitude tests, enables simulation. Enables simulation. Multiplier effect of AI. This is the most important key. Multiplier effect of artificial intelligence. You can keep on adding more and more and more of the benefits. And the Job Intelligence Master GIP for DBS Talent Acquisition Team is an organization. You know, DBS is a worldwide organization. DBS, Talent Acquisition Team, reduced the screening time from 32 minutes to 8 minutes per candidate. Imagine that the time saved. Imagine the time saved. And you are not there. And you are not there. The machine takes care. The artificial intelligence technology takes care. And what all it gives you? The job profile it gives, the new employee job profile it gives to the employee, the new hire information, like reporting to whom the person has to report, the team members, who are all the team members, the task assignment, the administrative tasks, policies, and almost all first-hand information through an app or a laptop on the first day itself. It could be given to that person. Very easy. And you don't need to waste your time in giving out these regular fillings. But he has to know as a new employee. And all these are possible only through a small app, only through a AI app, which can be loaded or which can be downloaded from your own site itself, your own website itself. And these are all the various aspects of AI in HR. Analyze, understand employee problems, reinvent onboarding process, reshape hiring process, revamp training process, revitalize performance analysis, revitalize performance analysis. This need not be the same old criteria. You can inject new things. You can revitalize the performance analysis, and you can easily assess the performance of your own employees. Have they grown? Or where do they lack? And if yes, what is the gap and how you can fill it? This requires a strategic plan. This requires a strategic plan, right from recruitment and deployment, training and development. Then, of course, the compensation management, and which results in the good human relations management. Advantages of HR analytics. Do we have really the time for HR analytics now? Yes, we appropriate certain times in very less number of organizations the HR analytics or HR analytics. But this is required for every growing organization. Every growing organization, we need to do the HR analytics. And for that, this helps, AI helps. Efficient talent acquisition, streamlining employee training, enhancing employee experience, unified employee support, redefining financial compensation, as I gave you the difference. Then better employee retention. This is yet another big area. Employee retention. Then leveraging artificial intelligence through machine learning. Then, of course, all these things are possible through cloud migration. Through cloud. Now, through virtually, you can manage everyone. Remotely, you can manage everyone. Remotely, you can analyze the efficiency of the talents whom you have. You can streamline the training process. You can enhance the employee experience. And you can find out whether you have the unified employee support. All these things are remotely possible. Or even without the knowledge of your own workforce, individual workforce, you can gather the data. This is called leveraging artificial intelligence and put it on the cloud, so you don't need to clog your system. And you can access it from anywhere across the world, wherever you are. All you need to do is access to a system. That's all. Then this is yet another area. Internal mobility and employee retention. As I said, employee retention is a very big challenge for many of the even very big organizations. Very big organizations also, employee retention is a very big challenge. And how that can be addressed through AI software can evaluate key indicators of employee success in order to identify those that should be promoted, thus driving internal mobility. That is, they can be given a better responsibility at a very different place, and that is internal mobility. Doing so has the potential to significantly reduce talent acquisition costs and boost the employee retention rates. Because there is a very big cost is involved when you go for talent acquisition. This reduces the talent acquisition costs and bolster employee retention rate. It's a very big challenge, which is a very big challenge for even very big organizations. And it also includes the mid-level organizations also. And these are all the different things which are possible, which comes under our purview, human resource management system. The time and attendance, payroll, manager employee self-service, applicant tracking system, online benefits enrollment, performance management, and of course the last is the e-learning. And e-learning is what we call it as continuous learning. Continuous, preparing for the future of human resource management. Are we ready? Whether we are ready or not, we have to prepare ourselves for the future. What's going to change? Because change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. And the change becomes easier if we adapt to the artificial intelligence. Competence, growth, knowledge, ability, experience, training, learning, advanced training. And all these things are put together as skill sets. So, how are we going to improve the standards of our employees, not only in their lifestyle, but also in their skill sets, if the responsibility lies on us? The responsibility lies on us. Use AI to bring out the full power of people. The full power of people. Why to use artificial intelligence-based HR tools? HR software helps you to streamline your processes and improve efficiency in your team. As a result, you will see productivity increase and help free up your team to focus on other priorities such as employee welfare. Otherwise, there is no time. 8 hours or even 12 hours of working will not give you that advantage. Then key advantages are help save you time through the use of skill gap analysis, shortlist candidates quicker, streamline your processes, unconscious bias of the HR people. You can remove the unconscious bias. Then remote interviews allow you to hire and onboard from anywhere in the world. From anywhere in the world. Biggest advantage. Then I have taken a few of free HR tools. That is, I don't know how many of you have already in engagement with the artificial intelligence tools. Okay, that is HR tools. But even for them, how to identify? For that, they have to familiarize themselves. And naturally, how to familiarize that too in today's difficult situations. How do we, without adding up more burden to our top heads or to our top management? How do we employ the free tools to familiarize ourselves so that we can first learn from these things and then apply it according to our requirements and then adapt ourselves to the changing environment, and which will definitely lead to the better growth of the organization, for which we become the key factor for the organization. We become responsible for the growth also as head HRs and as HR fraternity. And home base is one free such tool. And the key features are post new jobs, track your applicants, and onboard new employees easily. Why you will love it? It takes the hassle out of hiring and is extremely easy to use. Home base. Next is fresh team. All these things are free too. Okay, and it is not fully free. Again, I tell you. Initially, it is free, but as you need more, then of course, because they have developed these, so they need business also. They need the revenues also. So, of course, they do give many advantages as free, so that you get yourself familiarized. Then you can upgrade yourself or upgrade the same software with a paid one, okay, so that you get more advantage. Fresh Team is another online platform that allows you to manage your recruitment, candidate experience, vacation calendar, employees, and HR in one place. Onboarding holidays, employee data, and HR workflows efficiently. You can easily do that. Then it's all in one platform, which keeps things simple and convenient. The third one is Bitrix 24. I think some of you may be using these tools, and if so, you can also share your experience with your other colleagues of the same HR firm. So they will also can learn from you. Bitrix 24 offers a free HR system to all users, including intranet, that is, within the organization, within the various departments of the organization. Then workflow, employee portal, and time management tools. And it's open source. That means people are writing, they can keep adding more plus onto this. Then HR Locker is a cloud-based software. It's a powerful HR option for small to medium-sized businesses with an all-in-one approach. Then, of course, Zoho. It's a Chennai-based organization, which many of you are aware, and they come out with many simple softwares, but very useful softwares. One of that is this Zoho Fruit that can give you the advantage of easily manage your workforce. You can run your entire business with Zoho, which offers products beyond just HR function. Then Odoo is an open source CRM and enterprise resource planning tool with integrated apps. It's easy to use and highly popular. And the advantage is, you can see that, then why you will love it. In addition to all the great HR features, it supports marketing, finance, and even web development. It supports these additional avenues also. And thank you so much for the time and for your patient listening and any questions.
Thank you, Professor Bhaskaran sir. Very elaborate and very informative presentation, I could say. It is dealt with all aspects of AI. AI improvements happened in HR with all relevant examples. And now it is time for our question and answer. I request all our participants to unmute themselves and ask a question what they have in their mind, or to participants for question answer.
Oh,
Yeah.
good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening,
Please
Professor.
introduce yourself, sir, please.
Okay, sir. This is one. This is Dr. Suresh Kumar, Professor and Head
Oh,
of M.B.A from Weltech High Tech
oh,
Engineering
okay,
College.
okay, fine.
Professor, it was very fine. Thank you very much for sharing your eloquent thoughts and information on AI practices, AI, HR practices. It was very fine, Professor. Like you had just know, like even I also had learned the things on like manpower planning, like how it was earlier, like mainly the job analysis and projected turnover and techniques to determine number of recruits. And in that you had talked about the trend analysis and ratio analysis and recruitment from external resources. And you also had discussed, you also had presented on recruiting new staff from external sources will be influenced uh, and training processes, different training processes, training need analysis, training objectives, training delivery, training evaluation, assessing training needs, competency analysis, and current competency, competency gap, and required competency, training matrix for competency development, how to develop resourceful workforce, enhance training effectiveness, and performance management cycle. It was a very fine, Professor. And also like how AI is transforming HR department. That's the topic of the day. And really, I have learned a lot from today's session. Thank you very much, Professor. And the topics like how AI is transforming HR department, the impact of AI on HR, and implications of HRM programs, process and functions, mainly talent attraction and selection, new selection criteria, lateral cognitive problem solving, rewards, benefits, and demand, on-demand workforce, elastic workforce, HRM ethics, key issues, and mainly like in the key issues like employee relations, building public confidence, the job disruptions, and these things. And also just know you also had elaborated like Ravi sir is telling a lot of things on AI in HR practices and many ways of AI in HR today and the recruitment chatbots, mainly the chatbot and types of chatbot you had mentioned. And also the tools what the HR is using like the Bitrix 24, HR Locker, Joho, Oro, etc., etc. It was very nice and wonderful presentation, Professor. Thank you very much. I'm very much again acquired a lot today evening. And I also extend my profound thanks to Ravi sir, S2S HR Forum for organizing this event. And one question here, Professor, like
Yeah.
actually AI for everybody generally no HR human resource itself is a personal, is a emotional touch is required. But in AI, just without having emotional, I think that sometimes they recruit the people by not involving that emotional thing. That is one question. And next, no, like we also in your fantastic presentation or excellent presentations, you also had mentioned um, the employees do not involve in organization, especially the employees involvement in organizations are not satisfactorily, and it is not leading to the growth and development. In such case, how AI implications has a profound effect, Professor? That is these two questions I have. Could you please?
Wonderful. Very nice to hear that. And first of all, thank you very much for your for
Thank you.
developed an interest in this, even though you are a faculty of a education institution.
Bhaskar sir, உங்க mic low voice இருக்கு. Can you increase your mic? Mic
Is it
sound.
okay now?
Now better.
Okay.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, Dr. Suresh Kumar. See, first I will just answer your two questions. Number one is the emotional aspect of the individuals or the workforce, how the AI can decipher or will understand because being a machine, how it can. That is what your question is.
Yes, Professor.
Yeah. You can check with that itself in your smartphone which you have. You know, we have a Google Assistant. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, which are all there in any Android phone or even in other Apple. Okay. And in that, if you see a particular questions which are asked, that itself they ask, are you feeling lonely? Do you want to listen to a good song which you like? Then once you say yes, I would like to, then it asks you again what type of song you prefer. That means the machine starts understanding you. What are your likes and dislikes? And it keeps on adding to its mechanism. Keeps on adding your preferences in the mechanism. So once you say I like Carnatic music, or once you say I like jazz, then it keeps it in reserve. So next time it asks you, and again in here itself, once you say jazz or Carnatic music, then it asks you the next question, which singer you prefer, whether you need a singer or an instrumental music. So it starts understanding you. Okay, the machine starts understanding the human requirements. This is so, right? So this is how it is being programmed. This is called even emotional understanding. I mean, through this, you can easily understand the emotions of the individuals also. Okay. Because each and everyone who carries a smartphone, if they start using the Google Assistant regularly, it even understands what type of, I mean, in which time you require to call a person. Supposing you have in your contact list 4 Balasubramanians are there. I'm only giving you an example. And you regularly talk to a particular Mr. Balasubramanian, let's say G. Balasubramanian, at 10 o'clock in the morning, or between 10 and 11 in the morning regularly. So when you say next time, please call up Balasubramanian, it doesn't ask you immediately. There are 4 Balasubramanians. Which Balasubramanian you want me to call? It doesn't ask you because it takes it into its reserve mechanism. It starts understanding you. So, like this, it starts understanding your emotions, your behavior, your likes and dislikes. Have I answered your first question?
Yeah, yes, Professor, fine. Yes, absolutely. It's nice.
Okay. So this we call it as machine learning. Okay. As the machine starts learning us, we also should start learning the machines more and more and more. And once we start learning about the machines, then we give better inputs to the machines to ask us better questions. Okay.
Yes.
So that it can learn much better, even beyond the human beings. It starts understanding the individuals. Okay. So that is the big advantage. So hopefully I have answered your first question.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Professor.
Over to
Thank
next
you.
participant.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Next participant, question, please.
I'm sorry, I'm quite elaborate, but still it is easier for people to understand.
Any other question, dear participants?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah, very
yes,
much.
you're audible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, this is Damodaran Annamalai,
Okay.
advocate from High Court of Madras.
Oh, wonderful.
Happy to hear your presentation, sir. It's very nice and exhilarating. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sir, since I come from legal background, still we have many much of research come search for knowledge as far as AI is concerned.
Yeah.
Sir, my question is, due to this upcoming trend of artificial intelligence, where there is any challenge for traditional HR methods, sir?
Right? Like, I mean, what do you mean by traditional HR methods?
Sir?
Traditional is manpower oriented.
Yes,
People
sir.
may lose the job. Is that
Yeah,
your fear, sir?
exactly, sir. Exactly. Sir, see, I also have a joint question with it.
Yeah.
I have been dealing with various companies, sir, as far as legal issues and legal matters and litigations are concerned.
Okay.
I can see many IT companies are laying off people bulkly. I mean, probably 10,000, 15,000 employees have been laying off due to this upcoming trend of the technologies. The technologies are always keep on decreasing the level of human resources as far as my personal view is concerned. And also, sir, I feel like if a senior employee from my IT sector is being paid for approximately 3 to 4 lakhs. The company is laying off them and they are recruiting new people and they are paying like 50,000 to 1 lakh, and they are using higher level of human resource of 3 to 4 people for 4 to 5 lakhs, and they are laying off the senior executives. See, the since the I feel like, yeah, the country like India, which huge population, human resource is both boom and ban. I feel so. So how come this artificial intelligence will become a positive mode in HR management, sir?
One,
How will it be? How will be
so,
the positive aspect will be coming?
okay, that means in simple words, I would rephrase your question, see whether I'm right. Whether this artificial intelligence will reduce the employability,
Yeah.
right? Definitely not. It will only increase the employability, provided the individuals have to upskill themselves. Individuals have to learn. See, previously people were having only some general qualifications they used to have. Say, let us take an MBA, or even in your profession, advocate profession. Okay, previously they used to have one general called, say, civil or criminal. That was a very, very general, domains were there, very broad domains
Yeah.
too. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the same civil, now see how many new avenues have cropped up. Only for the builders, only for the land acquisitions. There are specialized advocates have come. Constitutional lawyers have come separately. Okay. So that is the change in time. You have to engage yourself or categorize yourself in which you are proficient with or you are interested with, and then update yourself in that skill set. So automatically you start gaining more and more. Okay.
Okay.
So I only quote your own example. So like that, every industry requires manpower. See, whatever be the technology, for operating the technology or feeding those technology, you need manpower. Okay. And
Okay.
for maintaining the technology, you need the manpower. Okay.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So if the employability will not get reduced, whereas it will only give more opportunities, provided people are willing to change and upskill themselves, or are willing to learn more about that profession and start specializing. So they will be looked upon, or they will be engaged, or they will be the sought after people. They will be the sought after people. See, as you rightly said, the monotonous code writing, in the IT industry. Coding is called. Okay. Because it's a regular coding, now the open source has got all the regular codings. So you don't need a human intervention there to rewrite the same thing. It is like reinventing the wheel. Whereas the technology helps you identify the codes which are already available, then collate it properly, and then it gives you a ready reckoner for a new software to be developed easily. Okay, and it's all there in the open source. You don't need to pay for it. That is why we have so many apps which are coming. So many applications which are coming. Every person who starts an industry starts an app also. How it is possible? Why the cost has come down? Because of these. Because of these. Okay. So it will never reduce the employability, rather it will enhance. I mean, it's a myth if we say that it will reduce. It's a myth. Or people who are not updating themselves will cry. Will definitely cry. See, for example, our own say, Mr. Ravi Kumar, if you take, he is a professionally qualified HR with decades of experience. But he not only in HR, but also in IR. IR is not easy. IR is not easy domain to learn. But he has acquainted himself. And now he has become proficient in that also in IR. So like that. And he can never be sent out. Okay. Rather, he should be willing to change. Okay. So what if that happens? So reduction of employability will not happen at all with the introduction of technology. See, previously we used to have typewriters. Now, now the typewriting machines are not there at all.
Exactly.
But do you mean to say that typists have become less? No, everyone has become a typist now, right from the CEO onwards. Okay, he becomes a typist now because he sends out his own email, typing on his own emails. He doesn't engage a person. Okay, but he becomes a typist for himself. And for routine things, they have a pool now, a typing pool. Or templates are being created to fill in the data. So, when, see, there is a saying, I mean, I'm talking philosophically. When God closes one door, he opens another. So, there is no dearth for new employability or new employments. Provided we should keep our ears to the ground and then learn what are the changes that are happening and equip ourselves.
Nicely said, sir. Upskilling is inevitable. If we don't upskill, we are outdated. That is the one-line answer. Nice elaborate reply by Dr. Bhaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for bringing light to my mind, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Next
sir,
question,
also
please.
one more request, sir. Also one more request for the people who are convening the meeting. I would like to present a presentation regarding human resource and in legal context, sir. Is it possible, sir?
Definitely. Kindly share your number in the chat box, sir. We will get back to you.
Sure. Right, sir. Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your kindness and open willingness to present. We welcome eminent advocates like you, who is also very much required for IR profession. Basically, I am also a lawyer, but since being HR, I have to invite my colleague. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I'll share the number. Thank you.
Please. Sir, any other question from participants before we close the meeting? Already it is 2 hours, 15 minutes is there. So, any other question? Final question can we take? Nice. If there is no question, I will, on behalf of our HR forum, I would like to give a memento for our speaker. Sir,
Thank you so much.
this memento will reach you
Okay.
on behalf of our HR and a book by our beloved friend
Okay.
Narrasan Annamalai.
Wonderful.
101 ways to create and innovate. This
Wonderful.
book,
Very nice.
this book and our memento will reach you to your doorstep.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
To close the meeting, I would request our S2S member, Mr. Santosh Raja, M.B.A, who is with Ramco Cement Assistant Manager HR, or to Mr. Santosh to propose vote of thanks.
Sure, sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I take this time to thank Mr. Bhaskar, sir, who has been like very interactive, and the complete 2 hours was like it was very informative to us, and we came to know a lot of HR like chat box and other artificial intelligence techniques available now, and various softwares available for various HR related activities. We came to know that really it was very helpful for us, and hope we have to survive with the artificial intelligence in the near future, which is mostly being implemented now, and we have to adjust with the artificial intelligence in the future. This was a very clear and very experienced guest lecture we had. We thank you, sir, and we thank the S2S HR Forum for organizing such a program, and we wish for many programs like this in near future. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Santosh sir. And I would also like to thank KTV team, Mr. Bala and Manikandan, who have given this program on Microsoft Team, and also recorded edited version will be circulated in our WhatsApp group. And also I thank Mr. Monas Chandra Babu, who has introduced the speaker, and also all the participants who have joined. Of course, it has taken little time, but the subject is more informative. I hope our professionals would have enjoyed. And see you next meeting shortly by second week of February. We will have a new speaker and a new topic. Thank you, Dr. Bhaskar, sir.
Thank you so much. And I would like to thank Mr. Ravi Kumar for giving me that opportunity, and also thank Mr. Manikandan for helping me out in doing this presentation for you today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Manikandan. Bala, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
We'll close the meeting. Thank you. Good day to you.
Much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you.